All right, so this is Friday, and there's about 2 hours left in the market today. And I'm getting faced here with an opportunity that I've been thinking about this week. I wanted to start, and this is the perfect opportunity to go ahead and try it right now. So this is kind of an experimental trade on the experiment that we're doing, but I'm going to try to see if I can get filled here at this position. This signal that we're following is throughout the day, and it changes, or it can change throughout the day. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm going to see if I can get on this last little order here. Let's see if I can get 80. I don't know. This is kind of late in the day. I would prefer to do this before like 9:30, kind of like halfway through the trading day, midday. But I'm willing to give this a shot. So this is just sort of something became apparent to me as I was sitting here watching this particular zero DTE strategy over the last couple weeks. And you notice a lot of things when you're sitting there staring at the charts, just staring at them and just kind of like taking note of what's going on. And so this is an experiment based off what I've seen off the charts and particularly with this signal that we're getting on this service. So wish me luck. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Either way, whether it goes good or bad, this is going to be a great experiment and it could lead to some really cool things, I'm hoping. So let's just see if I can get filled here at 80. Come on, 80. There we go. All right, we're off and running. This experiment is the real deal now. Real money on the line. All right, so let's go over here and let's just come in here and let's lock this in at what we got. We got 80. And for this one, I'm going to immediately set an exit order. So I'm going to say analyze opposite trade. And for these, we usually do 30. 30 gives us $50. Yep. Okay, so then I'm going to just set this profit exit order right now. So that's live and running. So there it is. We have an order in to get out of this trade at 30 bucks. That would give us 50 bucks on this trade. So let's just keep our eye on this. And one reason I want to put on right now is because things are getting really jumpy now. These are already kind of jumpy, these 0-day options or these trades, these spreads on 0-day options. But as we get closer to the end of the day, the gamma picks up and these things get really jumpy. So I don't want to miss any opportunity that I may have of it jumping up there and hitting my profit target. So we're off and running on this one. Let's see how this goes. So while this trade's going here, I expect this trade to get filled a lot faster than our marathon sessions that we do in the morning, just because it's towards the end of the day and this thing is really getting whippy and moving quickly. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put on a video that I was watching before this on YouTube, and I'll just continue to watch it. I'll start it over. It's good. It's one thing you may or may not know about me is I'm crazy about this whole UFO thing that's going on. I'm just I've been like into it forever, and I find it fascinating what's happening. And there's this guy named Lou Elizondo, and there's a really good podcast by this guy named Kurt just something. He's got like a hard name, a hard to pronounce last name. Just trying to get this video. Okay, here we go. So he has a podcast, this guy Kurt, and he's had this guy Lou Elizondo, this UFO guy who used to work with the government on like trying to figure out what UFOs were, or UAPs as they're calling them now. And so he's had him on a couple times. This is like a video he just came out with today. It's like the greatest hits of Lou Elizondo. And let me just start over here.
Imagine everything you've been taught, whether it's through Sunday school or what our political leaders have told us turned out to be not entirely accurate. The meaning, what it means to be a human being and our place in this universe. How much of our own history do we really know? We can go back 5,000 years pretty easily. 8,000 years, things start to get a little murky. Anything much beyond that, we really have no clue about. There is documentation of these strange things in the sky going back a long, long time. I don't think we're dealing with a new phenomenon. I think we may be dealing with a new recognition and perhaps, hopefully, at some point, a new understanding. I think we've been faced with this phenomenon for quite some time.
Lou Elizondo has been on the Theories of Everything podcast 3 times, each of which has a link in the description. Almost every one of those appearances tends to be one of the highest rated videos of all of the Lou Elizondo appearances on different podcasts and different platforms during that period. What you're about to see are the most viewed, juicy clips from those sessions in one compilation. If you'd like to watch any of these in full, the links are in the description as well as the pinned comment. This compilation is in preparation for a behemoth interview with Lou in person, so if you have a question for him, leave it below. Think of this whole anthology as an early Christmas gift. My name's Kurt J. Mungle, and this podcast is Theories of Everything, where we explore the topics of physics, mathematics, free will, consciousness, and AI, even God, primarily from an analytic, technical, academic perspective, but as well as starting 2 years ago, I've embraced a more experiential approach and interview some guests.
So this is like we're going to get filled here any second. So you're going to miss out on this Lou Elizondo thing. I'll include it in another one like next week. You can just go to YouTube and find it. I'll put a link to this in the description if there's any other UFO nuts out there. UFO brothers, nut brothers. So this is getting really close to getting filled. And then watch it back off and like just do nothing. That would be perfect. That's like Murphy. Where's Murphy? Murphy's Law is showing up. The way this is popping around, this spread, the price on this spread, it should get filled any second. Then again, maybe not. So maybe I'll just put Lou back on. We'll keep Lou going. Maybe that's what was helping us get into profit. Was
It is
this
Best of Lou Elizondo episode.
The critics have spoken.
People want to love you, Monk. You should let them love all of you.
American fiction is the best picture of the year.
Yes! If you could start over and pursue a different educational path with the hopes of understanding UAPs more fully, what degree would you choose?
I would probably start with philosophy. And why is that? Because philosophy is one of the few areas that teaches you how to think and not what to think, right? In the topic of UAPs, it's not a matter of what, it's how. You know, how do we process the data? How does this apply to our species? Where we're going, where we're from, etc. There's very few academic pursuits that teach somebody how to think. Most people, and I can tell you this from personal experience with my children, most schools teach kids what to think. And that's a problem because we've forgotten what real teaching is about. You know, I can instruct somebody on how to do something, but real teaching is something different. You know, a lot of the Eastern philosophies understood that. You know, it's not teaching
Order
somebody
filled.
the specifics. It's teaching somebody how to.
That was the Vince trade. Just ignore. Oh, there we go. We got filled. Okay, thanks, Kurt. Maybe it was Lou and Kurt here helped us get into profit on that. So let's. So that's really cool. This opens up a lot. This opens up a bunch of opportunity, I think. I mean, I need to do more testing on this, but this gives me something to start with. I'm going to back test and go crazy this weekend, and I may have something very, very cool with this that I can show you. But let me just make sure first. Okay, so let's see. We want to go over here. Okay, there we go. So we got filled. So we sold it for 80 at 11.26. And we bought it back at 30 at 11.41. So that's 10. It's about 15 minutes, 16 minutes right in there. So that was a quickie. That was a fast one. And it's what's even cooler is that this could be something that we could continue to use going forward. So this doesn't happen. So these signals that I'm getting these signals from the service, and we've been taking those signals as they come out every day. But the signal can kind of change over time. So you just need to sort of like look at, before you put a trade on, you need to see what the signal, if it has changed or not. I mean, it may start off one way in the morning, and then it may change throughout the day. So if you came in at like 10, it may be a different signal than the one that you were looking at, like say at 7. So when we take that into account, if the signals can change throughout the day, and something that I've just noticed in correlation with those signals on my charts, like the SPX chart, there is potentially a way to double dip. Like this would be like we would call it the double dip bonus trade or something for the day, but potentially even multiple. That would be really cool. But so let's call this for the time being. We'll just call like the double dip or the double. Yeah, the double dip. We'll call it the double dip. Anyway, the short of all this is that this is potentially really cool. This isn't something that the service that I'm following, they don't address this at all. They don't teach this. This is just sort of like what I've just kind of come to realize after watching these signals that come out every day over the last couple of weeks and watching the chart and like this weird kind of thing that happens. And so I'm going to do some back testing on this, and hopefully it will be something that we could utilize. We could like put numerous of these trades on with this signal every trading day, if the signal allows for it or not. But before I get ahead of myself, I needed to back test that. The idea with this is to like try this service out. This is a service I've kind of been watching for a while, but I've never traded it because I just don't trade 0-day options. But for this experiment project here, I'm taking those signals from that service and just trading them as they come every single day, recording the whole thing. That's what all these videos are. It's that project. But it could also transform after seeing the raw data of how their signal is performing, which we've been doing. If things like this come up along the way, I don't see any reason why we can't kind of tweak it and transform it, going forward. But we'll finish this test as it exists with their signal first, then look to maybe expand it and tweak it and make it our own. And of course, I'll be able to share all that with you. All right, so let's just real quick fill in our Excel sheet based on this one. So this is, the date is 12/22/23. We're going to call this the double dip bonus trade. And this made $50. At risk was 420. 420? This was like, let's say 16 minutes. And again, we'll call this the double dip bonus trade. All right, so that's it for today. And if you want to follow along with me on these trades, just go ahead and make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel below. And also be sure to go over to my website and join me there. I have a free email newsletter. You can sign up over there on my website. I'll put a link to my website in the description below. So just head on over there, sign up for the free newsletter, and you'll get a welcome email from me. Just reply back to that welcome email and say, I'm interested in following your 0DTE stuff, or something about the 0DTE stuff, and I'll know what you're talking about, and I'll reply back to you, make sure you're on the list, and we'll go from there. All right, so that's it for today. See you next time.